For over 1,000 years, a secret lay hidden in the jungles of Central America. A farming trick so simple, yet so powerful, it could make corn grow faster without iron tools, without machines, without chemicals. The Maya used it to feed millions, to survive droughts, to build cities that touched the sky. And then it vanished, buried in ruins, forgotten by time. But what if this ancient method still holds answers for us today? What if the secret to faster harvests was never modern science, but wisdom carved into the soil by hands long gone? 1,200 years ago, the Maya thrived in the heart of Central America. Their world was carved from jungle and stone. Towering temples rose above thick forests, while rivers carried canoes heavy with trade. The air was warm, heavy with the scent of earth and rain. Life was not easy. The climate shifted between floods and droughts. The soil was thin, fragile, and quick to exhaust. Yet the Maya built vast cities, places like Tikal and Copan, where tens of thousands depended on one thing: corn. Corn was more than food. It was the foundation of their diet, their rituals, their myths. Every meal, every festival, every offering to the gods began with maize. To grow it faster meant survival. To grow it stronger meant power. Picture the farmers at dawn, their hands rough, their eyes sharp. They knew the land like a living map. They read the clouds, the winds, the soil beneath their feet. And in this world of uncertainty, they discovered something extraordinary, a method hidden in plain sight, a trick that made corn rise quicker, thrive longer, and feed empires. The jungle held the secret, and the Maya knew how to unlock it. The Maya lived in a land of extremes. One season, the skies opened and rain poured endlessly, drowning fields. The next, the sun blazed mercilessly, cracking the soil, leaving crops gasping for water. The earth itself was fragile. Thin layers of topsoil washed away with every storm. Rocks and roots made planting difficult. And without iron tools or modern irrigation, farming was a battle against nature. Corn was their lifeline, but corn was demanding. It drained nutrients quickly, leaving the soil barren after just a few harvests. If the Maya failed to grow it fast enough, hunger followed. If they failed to protect it, entire cities could collapse. Imagine the tension: thousands of mouths to feed, priests demanding offerings, rulers expecting abundance, and farmers staring at fields that refused to yield. The question was urgent. How could they make corn grow faster, stronger, and more reliable without the tools we take for granted today?
The answer would not come from brute force. It would come from observation, from patience, from a discovery hidden in the rhythm of the jungle itself. At dawn, a Maya farmer bends low. He places a corn seed into the soil. But he does not stop there. Beside it, he plants beans, and nearby, squash. This was the secret: 3 crops, 3 sisters, working together. The corn grows tall, becoming a living pole. The beans climb upward, wrapping around the stalk, feeding the soil with nitrogen, nature's fertilizer. The squash spreads wide, its broad leaves shading the ground, locking in moisture and keeping weeds away. Each plant protects the other. Each plant speeds the growth of the corn. But the Maya went further. They built raised beds to keep roots dry during floods. They burned wood and spread ash to enrich the soil. They rotated plots, never exhausting one place for too long. Step by step, they created a system, a living engine, a design so efficient that corn grew faster, healthier, and more resilient than before. It looked simple, but it was revolutionary. And for the Maya, it was more than farming. It was survival. It was devotion.
It was the secret that kept their civilization alive. The secret of the Maya system lies in balance. Corn alone is greedy. It drains the soil, leaving nothing behind. But when beans grow beside it, they fix nitrogen, tiny invisible particles that act like food for the roots. It's as if the beans are quietly feeding the corn while climbing its stalk. The squash plays another role. Its broad leaves spread across the ground like a living blanket. Sunlight cannot scorch the soil. Weeds cannot invade. Moisture stays locked beneath the shade. The corn grows faster because the ground beneath it is protected. Think of it like a team. Corn is the pillar. Beans are the helper. Squash is the shield. Alone, each struggles. Together, they thrive. Modern science explains it simply. Diversity creates resilience. The plants share resources instead of competing. They recycle nutrients, guard against pests, and stabilize the fragile soil. It's like building a fortress, the walls, the guards, the supplies, all working together. The Maya didn't need chemicals or machines. They built their fortress from seeds. And that fortress gave them speed. Corn rose quicker, harvests came sooner, and survival became possible in a land that tried to defeat them. The effect was astonishing. Corn grew taller, faster, and stronger. Harvests came sooner, giving families food when they needed it most. Yields were larger, enough to feed entire cities and armies. The soil stayed fertile, resisting the exhaustion that plagued other civilizations. In a land of droughts and floods, the Maya had carved out resilience. Their trick turned fragile earth into abundance. It wasn't just survival, it was prosperity. The Three Sisters system became the silent engine behind temples, trade, and power. A farming secret that gave the Maya time, strength, and the ability to thrive against all odds. But then, it faded. As kingdoms fell, wars spread, and new rulers rose, the old methods were abandoned. Spanish conquest brought new crops, new tools, and new demands. The sacred system was dismissed as primitive. Generations forgot the wisdom buried in the soil. By the time archaeologists uncovered traces of it, the trick had vanished from daily life. Was it forgotten, ignored, or simply replaced by faster, harsher methods? The mystery lingers. Why would a system so effective disappear? Perhaps the answer lies not in the soil, but in the choices civilizations make when chasing power and progress. Today, scientists call it companion planting. Farmers experiment with it again, and the results echo the Maya's success. Corn grows faster, soil stays alive, and harvests resist drought. In a world facing climate change, food insecurity, and exhausted land, this ancient trick feels urgent once more. Imagine cities fed by gardens that mimic the jungle. Imagine farms that heal the soil instead of draining it. The Maya's secret was not lost, it was waiting. Waiting for us to remember that sometimes the fastest way forward is to look back at the wisdom of those who came before. 1,200 years ago, Maya farmers discovered a way to grow corn faster without machines, without chemicals, without modern science. They built resilience from seeds, patience, and observation. Their secret reminds us that survival is not about force, it's about balance. As we face our own challenges today, perhaps the lesson is clear. Nature already holds the answers. We only need to listen. The Maya listened, and they thrived. What might happen if we did the same? The story of their corn is not just history, it's a guide waiting to be planted again.